welcome this brand spanking new edition of 5 Round MMA. Pardon my voice, I'm a little under the weather right now, so
It must be Albert's fault.
And I'm a little bit over the weather.
He was under the weather a couple of weeks ago.
a Galaxy going with 3-game winning streak is over the weather.
Oh man, the last game against the Timbers, what a beauty, 3-1.
This week we have World Series of Fighting 12 competitor Kelvin. Also, we're going to talk about some recent UFC matchups, some other stuff. It's been kind of slow as for the MMA world, right?
Yeah, Nick Diaz kind of took a
or
lot.
That's what I'm saying. Nick,
Is it the UFC
That's all.
world?
Nick
I
and,
couldn't go
Anderson.
to any real MMA websites because all I saw was Nick Diaz.
Nick Diaz.
yeah, so no one's really talking about what's his name? You were talking Kevin Spacey. What's his name?
Kevin
Spacey.
Kevin
Casey.
Oh, Kevin Casey.
how
Kevin
he
Casey.
got caught.
Well, recently this past weekend too,
He
unfortunately.
said it was because of his weight cut. That's why he took it. But I mean,
I don't know. Well, also this weekend, this weekend too, the horrible, horrific accident happened to Paul George.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was disgusting and
You know, Anderson Silva
horrible.
actually sent
Yeah,
out a
Anderson
message.
Silva, that's why I
Sent a
brought it up,
message
yeah.
out to Paul George saying, you know, I suffered the same injury. You know, you'll be back better than ever.
Yep. So I guess we start the show playing a new game that Guillermo kind of concocted and I kind of tweaked around and so now we have called Mr. Matchmaker. So I have 5 recent UFC matchups that are made the big headline news. Some of them are fairly recent, some of them are a couple weeks old. And I want to two things: either you guys love it or you hate it. If you hate it, tell me why you hate it and who would you have rather placed in those spots. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. So the first matchup is a welterweight matchup between Rory McDonald and Tariq Seferdine. Albert, do you hate it? Do you love it?
I love it.
You love it? Why?
Because Tariq Safedine
It's a little
is
flamboyant there, wasn't it? A little flamboyant. Love it.
Well, when we're talking about Rory Mack, you got to put in the flash,
flamboyance,
the flash in there. Tariq Safedine's a previous champion. Since coming to the UFC, he had already a good performance. Not that many people know about him because he did come out in the UFC Fight Pass. And so I think this
If
is
you're a
good.
fight fan, you should know about who Tariq Seferdine
But I'm just
is.
saying this is good for both of them because Rory McDonald still stays up in the ladder because he doesn't fight someone below the top 5. I really do think Tariq Safedine belongs in that top 5 position. And at the same time, it's not bad for Tariq Safedine because now he gets put in the main card with people to see.
Guillermo, do you love it? Hate it?
I love it, but a little bit different reason for Albert. The reason I love it is because with Johnny Hendricks now booked with Robbie Lawler, you have to have Rory Mack fight someone. So why?
So this is number contender match.
I say it's a number 1 contender fight, but more than anything, it's someone very beatable for Rory Mack.
Oh, very beatable.
So you know, Rory Mack should, in all terms, should beat Tariq Safedine had you pinned him against someone a little bit more higher up in the ranking.
You kind of challenged Rory Mack today. Got the hairbrush, got the
You know
nice
it.
shirt on.
I got the
Yeah.
Rory Mack.
Rory Mack
But in
style
terms
right
of,
now?
I like it because Rory Mack should win this fight. It keeps him active and it sets him up.
And if he wins,
if he wins, he gets the winner out of Robbie Lawler
is
versus
it just
Johnny
decision, or
Hendricks.
should he finish Tariq Seferdine?
No, I
shot?
think he really needs to finish
To get a title shot?
because you guys forget there's still some animals out there like Hector Lombard
That's what
still
I'm saying.
in the mix.
But why wouldn't you throw Hector Lombard
Carlos Condit's about to make his
against Rory Mack?
return. We still got Tyrone Woodley, even though he lost to Rory Mack.
I know last week I said Nick Diaz versus Rory Mack. That would have been a death sentence for Rory Mack.
And I'm also sure Matt Brown's gonna come back strong, right, Albert?
Yeah. See?
All right, next matchup. You're a boy, Guillermo. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. Guillermo, do you love it or hate it?
I love it.
Why?
Because Dustin Poirier is the exact person that we want to beat.
Team Conor McGregor, go for it. Keep going.
To elevate us to getting the championship in 2014.
All right, Albert, you love it or hate it?
I semi-love it. I'm okay with it. Let's say that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that matchup because
Kind of a short distance. You guys just started dating. You know if you like her a lot.
Yeah, it's something like that. You know, the date looks good, but you don't know if the future's right. You know.
Okay.
But because it is a good matchup because it's a step up for Conor McGregor. Dustin Poirier stays active with a top contender as well. But I still feel like Frankie Edgar isn't really being used in this division. He had a quick matchup. I don't know why Frankie Edgar kind of didn't get. I mean, yeah, it's a big step up for Conor McGregor, and I think that's the problem. They didn't want to really give him that.
I think the rivalry it plays more into it than because they could have given Cub Swanson, they could have given Frankie Edgar. I just think because of that rivalry that has been brewing up, I think it makes more sense.
As a promoter wise, there is a bigger fight to get money in,
and still get him credible.
But I don't dislike it because it is a good matchup, and it's a good step up for both of them.
Oh, speaking of Frankie Edgar, did you hear what Cub Swanson called out his camp, him and his camp, for releasing a fight that was going to happen already? Like, I think even it's like an Instagram post or a tweet says, for Edgar versus Swanson, UFC on Fox, and then Swanson, hey bro, real classy Frankie, shouting out matches that even happened yet. I'm not gonna fight you.
Wow.
So kind of war the words there on.
Yeah, I think
social networking.
Swanson and Edgar have a little side beef. So why?
Yeah,
but
but supposedly
Conor
Swanson's
McGregor
going to
in
wait
there?
for the championship bout, so we'll see. Next one, Bigfoot Silva versus Andre Arlovski. This was announced a little while ago, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it. So Bigfoot versus Arlovski. I think we talked about this match a little while ago, right?
Yeah.
Touch a matchup. Albert, do you love it or hate it? You're the big Pitbull fan, Arlovski fan.
I actually love it.
Okay. Why?
For once, Joe Silva's on his game right now.
Apparently, you guys are loving
because,
everything.
Antonio Silva, no one's a fight cheater.
Okay.
So he kind of doesn't have a choice to who he fights.
Yeah.
And Pitbull, he needs to start beating names because he doesn't have that long to at least become a contender.
Yeah, Bigfoot's a former.
And I think Antonio Bigfoot Silva still has a good name as far as name wise.
Name-wise? He has a good name for name-wise.
And as far as Bigfoot Silva, he just needs an opponent, and he's lucky that Arlovski took this fight.
Oh.
I love it, but
Love
I'll
it,
take
why?
Arlovski's side of it. Dana White, comes up to you, hey, we're gonna give you a Bigfoot. You don't have many options. Either you take Bigfoot.
So
or
basically,
you-
Arlovski's your fight. Who we're telling you to fight?
Yeah,
right?
you're at this point you have no say in this. You fight, you prove yourself again, and then maybe you have a little pull in here.
And the sad part is, I think
He's a former champion,
all these
don't
heavyweights fights that are happening
Yeah.
are pretty much not for
Yeah,
the
but
belt, but
champion
to
when no
fight,
one was there.
but to
Yeah.
fight the first contender, which is Junior Dos Santos. Because I really think the winner of Mark Hunt, Roy Nelson, might get Junior Dos Santos.
No,
Even if Mark Hart wins.
I think Overeem has been calling out Junior Dos Santos all
but
over again.
Has he?
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
kind of. I think Overeem still wants another fight
He
before
wants
he
to fight
fights.
Brock Lesnar, right?
Yeah,
Isn't he?
before he fights Junior Dos Santos. Same thing.
Overeem, Lesnar,
Same thing with this
Survivor
one.
Series.
I think if Arlovski or Bigfoot win,
Triple
the
threat
matchup
match.
should be against Junior Dos Santos.
So you guys are loving it so far. Next one, near and
Ooh,
dear to
I
your
did.
heart.
I did hear about this announcement. I
Phil
love
Davis versus Glover Teixeira. Gamble, do you
it.
love it or
Yeah, I
hate it?
love it. I love it. I love it.
You
I
love,
love
do you
it.
love it for Phil Davis? Do you love it for Glover Teixeira?
I love it for two reasons. Because everybody
this
builds
is
up everybody builds up the Glover Teixeira bandwagon.
Yeah.
And when Phil Davis beats that bandwagon, it's gonna elevate him already again to in the top
But-
3-4 in the
I mean,
light heavyweight.
As a Phil Davis fan, aren't you kind of worried? Because that's be like what 3 losses to main guys: Rashad Evans, Anthony Johnson. What if he loses to Teixeira? It's kind of a dangerous fight for him, isn't it?
I don't think so. He's one of the best light heavyweights in the world. Fighting anywhere below Glover Teixeira is back into the bottom of the food chain. A win over Glover Teixeira will propel him above. Glover Teixeira's last fight was against John Bone Jones.
Okay. Do you love it or hate this matchup, Albert?
I actually hate this matchup.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
Why?
I am a big Phil Davis fan, but I really think he needs to fight a different fighter.
Like who?
So I think he really should have waited for Rashad Evans.
Again?
And build that up
A
because
rematch?
and I really wanted Anthony Rumble Johnson to stay active, and he didn't get hurt at all in his last
you
fight.
wanted Anthony
and I
Johnson
went
versus
Anthony Rumble against Glover Teixeira because that makes way more
I don't
sense to
know.
me. Because Anthony Rumble Johnson just beat Phil Davis, he'd be another guy.
Yeah.
All you need to do is beat Glover Teixeira, and you can't. You can't really disagree if he were to fight DC. If let's say DC
Or maybe-
wins
I like the fight.
fight.
I agree with Albert that right now, Rashad Sugar Evans is in a little limbo because he does not want to fight Rampage.
Rampage?
No, not Rampage. Anthony Rumble Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Because
Those are
they're in the same
teammates.
they're
camp.
teammates. So
That's what I'm saying.
He's
and
put in a
and then
tough
if we're
spot.
looking at a promoter standpoint, I think there's more money to be made if you make that rematch with Phil Davis or Rashad Evans. And I think you can tell a different story because Rashad's coming back. Phil Davis
More
is
mature, maybe.
looking to stay more top
That's
of the
true.
mountain.
True.
But I do like this match.
Okay. Next one, and final one, the big one of the week: Nick Diaz versus Anderson Silva. Albert, do you love it or hate it?
I 100% hate this. What
Okay,
I
why?
don't understand what this does. First of all, Nick Diaz is coming off 2 losses, right?
Okay.
How about he goes and tries to beat Carlos Condit before we decide he's some kind of worth a super fight,
Nick Diaz. Okay.
right? Anderson Silva's coming off a big injury. This is the only reason I like it for Anderson Silva. I think he picked a opponent that still has a name and not necessarily
like
top
it.
5.
It's for somebody else, right?
He's not the top 5 in this weight class, so it's a good entry fight for Anderson Silva. I think it's just dumb that we just picked Nick Diaz though, because
Out of the blue.
I think there's other middleweights we probably could pick. I mean, you could even pick. I mean, I hate to bash on the guy, but their long term wrestling.
Mark Munoz.
Mark Munoz would have made more sense.
Yeah,
to me,
and this
to tell
fight
you
will
the
happen at middleweight. Gamble, do you love it or hate it?
I love it. I've been saying for quite a long time that
truth. Guillermo
this,
loves Wolf tickets. Keep in mind.
Apparently, yeah.
it's what sells. I'm a businessman. Whatever makes money, dude. But who else was calling out or willing to take on Anderson Silva this whole time?
Well, I think a lot of guys
You-
would have been
you-
like
you-
chomp at the bit.
Yoel
Come
Yoel
back.
Romero would have built fought Anderson. Everybody would have. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, then
think
the other
Jacare
thing, what is
will
Anderson
want it.
Silva
Luke
fighting for? Is he really
Rockhold,
fighting for
Tim
another
Kennedy.
title shot?
No.
Gregor Mousasi versus Anderson Silva. Come on, guys.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
way better name opponents out there that have caliber wins.
Yeah.
Keyword
Again,
wins.
money. Are people really
Yeah.
gonna pay for Gegard
No.
Mousasi, or are they gonna pay for Nick Diaz versus
If
Anderson
you're
Silva?
a real fight fan,
Yeah.
you are.
My
But
thing
if you
is-
like
And I
Wolf
think Nick
tickets-
Diaz has a very good shot.
My thing is, this fight's like 6 months away. I mean, you can give Nick Diaz to someone else to fight first.
Yeah, we still have to see a bunch of football being played before we even see this fight.
Apparently, yeah, the whole football season. All right, so that was it for Mr. Matchmaker. Apparently, Guillermo's completely on board with Joe Silva this time.
Yeah,
Albert.
I think Joe Silva had a small blemish, but overall,
a couple
it was
bumps
okay.
in the road. But that was Mr. Matchmaker. Guys, stick around. We have World Series of Fighting 12 card fighter Kelvin Tiller. Stick around.
Please visit FiveRoundMMA.com on our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. FiveRoundMMA.com.
Welcome back. Join us now on the 5-Round MMA Hotline, brought to you by Redemption Martial Arts. Please visit redemptionmartialarts.com to see how you can join the movement to stop bullying. With us now is World Series of Fighting fighter Kelvin Tiller. Kevin, how's it going, man?
It's going pretty good, but yourself?
Good. I was kind of confused by your weight class because I know your upcoming bout at World Series of Fighting 12 on August 9th is a catch weight, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is it at 190 or what was the catch weight?
195.
Okay, are you comfortable with that? Was that something you were okay to do, or would you prefer the weight cut, or just your thoughts about the in a catch weight bout?
No, it's fine. I only got to cut about 12 pounds, so it's not that much. I was actually walking around at 205 when I was supposed to fight that Ronnie Marks.
Oh, okay, cool. I
This
actually,
is even better.
yeah, that's cool. Before we get in depth on the fight, your nickname is pretty awesome, man. The Mama's Boy. I love it because people use that term as something derogatory, but you probably have the ability to beat a lot of people up, man. So tell us about the origin of that nickname and how you carry it proudly.
I mean, my mom was always there for it. That's how I got the name. I mean, yeah, I could probably beat most of the people that make fun of me. I still get made fun of the name actually to this day. But I mean, it's a great name. Like I say, my mom is the biggest reason why I'm here so far in my career. And so I just kind of dedicated most of my fights to her. So that's how I got the name I'm for.
That's awesome.
Okay. And then before we get to your fight on August 9th, you actually spent some time in Bellator. Can you tell us a little bit of your experience there?
Bellator was great. Sam Kaplan and at the time, Born Redney. It was great. I missed weight at 85. I missed weight twice. I think I came in 2 pounds over, 2 or 3 pounds over. I'm not for sure. And Sam Kaplan at the time was helping me out a lot. They did nothing wrong. You know, it was all my fault. I brought it on myself. They kicked me out. And I also had the opportunity to go back to Bellator to get in the 205-pound tournament, but I didn't. But I mean, Bellator was great. I can't say nothing bad about them. It was a great experience. They got me ready for a lot of interviews and stuff for the big level, for the big league. So I appreciate them for that.
Yeah, and then looking ahead, like you said, it was kind of like a preparation. You weren't necessarily in the top billing in those cards, but now you're almost the top bill in this fight. Is it a big difference to you? Do you see more of a difference, or for you it's just another card?
Yes, sir. To me, it's just another card, another fight, another guy in my way, in my dreams. Nothing has changed. Still training hard. Still at home in Kansas, training hard for the fights. Like I say, nothing has changed. Everything's the same.
Yeah, I want to go to that. 6-0, a total 6 career fights, but you've already fought in Bellator. You're making your debut for World Series of Fighting. These are the top companies in the country. What's it like competing at the highest level so soon in your career? Because some guys, they bounce around to these small organizations for their first 12 fights, and then they get a taste of the big show. But what's it like for you to get a taste so right away?
Man, I guess it's a blessing. I've been in the sport for about 5 years, 5.5 years. I think I've been pro for almost 3 years, and a year out of that 3 years, I've been out, haven't fought. So, I mean, I'm young. I'm 24 years old. I just turned 24 a month ago. So, I mean, it's a blessing to get the experience that I've gotten in such a short time. And I don't know, just been on big cars and traveling and seeing big cities and stuff like that. So it's just been a blessing for me.
Yeah. And then let's go on. Let's move on to your World Series of Fighting fight here at WSOF 12. You're fighting Elvis. What made you decide to take this fight on short notice?
I mean, I honestly don't know everything that happened. I was supposed to fight Ronnie March. My walking around weight, it was only 205, like 206, something like that. And some guy got injured. I was supposed to fight Elvis, and my weight was closer to that. And it was just a big mix up. And I mean, either way, it's a tough fight for me. So if it was Ronnie March or Elvis, I am fighting. It's all a great opportunity for me. They're both tough fights. And they both got winning records, and I'm still young in the game, only with 6-0. So it'll be a big test for me. So I'm really excited for it.
And then it says, I was doing a little research. It says you're interested in going after the middleweight championship and going after David Branch. So you think a victory over Elvis will propel you to that?
Yes, sir, it will.
And also, I know this is a short notice fight, but you also said earlier that you don't like to prepare too much, study your other opponents because you kind of force your will upon them and have them adjust to you. So tell us a little bit about your fighting style and why do you think like it's so important for your opponent to adjust to you rather than you adjusting to your opponent?
I believe that I have the style to adjust to anybody's style. With my style, I've always switched my style up. I do have 4 submission wins and 1 TKO and a decision win, but I'm always mixing it up. I'm unpredictable. I like to fight on my toes, use my jabs, use my kicks. And then when I fought in my last Bellator fight, I just did a lot of pressure. When I fought Amici Asaluque in Bellator, with takedowns and lots of ground and pounding, I just controlled him the whole fight. And then my last fight was on a local show in Kansas, and I did the same thing with him. I just controlled him the whole fight until I got the submission. So it was just hard to train for me because I am so unpredictable. And but with Elvis though, his style is just like a straightforward style, and from what my coaches tell me. But I'm prepared for whatever he brings at me, and I just hopefully I come out with the W.
Yeah, it's sticking to that because I was actually going to ask you that. You are the more unpredictable fighter in this fight. So is your strategy more have him worry about your offense and defense rather than do a strategy around his? Because his is a little bit more straightforward.
Traditional, right?
Yeah, traditional. And yes, he is good in submission and on standing up. But do you feel like he needs to worry more about the way you fight rather than you thinking of a strategy?
I'm not gonna say he needs to. I mean, if he want to win, he's gonna have to worry about what I'm gonna do. I mean, I just got a lot to bring to the table.
Yeah.
I like to be exciting. I like to pressure fighters. I like to break fighters. Some of those are things that you have to worry about. I got good cardio. I'm young. I can take a punch. It actually excites me when I get punched in the face or kicked or something. It just gets me pumped to keep going. And I just like tough fights. So I don't know. It'll be an exciting fight either way it goes.
And then real quick, sticking with your training camp, I mean, a lot of people know, Miami, Florida, California as having good fight camps. Arizona, San Jose, but not many people talk about Kansas. Can you kind of let us know how the fight scene is out there?
I mean, the fight scene is good. We got a couple UFC fighters out this way. I've been to big gyms. I've been to Alliance with Floyd Davis. Mm-hmm. I've been to Coconut Creek, Florida, American Top Team with, Thiago Silva, Master Lebo, Thiago Alves, all of them. So I've been to big gyms, and I think what makes gyms is having a different variety of guys to train with, and of course the great trainers. And we don't have the great trainers that the bigger cities have, but we're working on it. We do eventually get to that point, but at this point in my career, I just got to work with what I can get.
That's great stuff. Hey, Kelvin, I'll let you go. And I got a lot to do coming up. It is fight week. August 9th, World Series of Fighting 12 at the Hard Rock Hotel Casino live in Las Vegas and can be seen live on NBC Sports Network. We wish you best of luck and thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Kelvin.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Please visit FiveRoundMMA.com on our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. FiveRoundMMA.com.
Welcome back. It has been kind of a slow week in the news of MMA, UFC. So I thought we'd take the biggest headlines of the past week and just kind of dissect them and get guys' thoughts on it. The first one, continuation from the first segment, Frank Yeager versus Cub Swanson. I mean, Cub Swanson was pretty mad. He sent a pretty vicious tweet saying, "I'll classless Frankie and his camp." Is it a Jersey thing, Guillermo?
I don't think it's
calling out fights that are not going to happen.
I don't think it's a Jersey thing. What did Frank Yeager do?
Putting together two pictures
What
on
did
Instagram.
Frank Yeager have to do with
Frankie
anything?
versus Cub, setting a date and all that. UFC on Fox, Jersey. I don't know, bro.
Frank Yeager I'm pretty sure had nothing to do with it.
Well, Cub Swanson said he's going to wait for the title. Is that a good thing for him?
Who?
That's a bad
Cub
thing.
Swanson. So should he take the Frank Yeager fight?
I think he should.
You have a problem? You have a problem with
it's the only thing that makes sense to me. Who else would you fight?
Do you have a problem with like Frankie like making fights on his own, like putting two pictures together versus and
I think there's always
announcing the date and everything?
I think there's always a cool way to like help people out.
Yeah.
Doing this like Photoshop kind of thing. I mean, what are you trying to do, Frank? Every time let me know your Photoshop skills are pretty good. Or...
How do you know it's Frankie Yeager, man?
Like came from his camp.
Nah, man.
It came from his camp, not from Frankie Yeager. You
I'm
don't know
pretty
that.
sure
He's just putting the blame on Frankie
Yeager-
Yeager because he hates Frankie Yeager.
Look, right now, Ricardo Lamas wants to fight in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
And who knows when he's coming back because he did suffer a hand injury. The only thing that makes sense for Cub Swanson is to fight Frank Yeager. He can't wait on because we don't know what's going with Chad Mendes. We don't know if Chad Mendes is going to wait.
You have Dennis Bermudez now.
You have Dennis Bermudez still there too. There's only very limited amount of fighters, I think, and the only one that makes sense to me is to fight Frank Yeager.
Well, I think it hurts Cub Swanson waiting for so long because by the time Chad Mendes and Jose Aldo fight, what are we talking about? Like an 8-month layoff?
Yeah.
I mean, that's too much of a long layoff for Cub Swanson. I say he takes that Frankie Edgar fight and he shuts him up if he really.
The potential fight would have been UFC on Fox December 13th.
Yeah.
You like that? You like that kind of better?
That's a good number.
Yeah, that's a good date.
Yeah, but here's the tweets. It's from Ali Abazalabaz. I think it's Frankie's manager, right? At Frank Yeager versus Cub Swanson on Fox, December 13th, 5-round main event at UFC at Helwani. And then Cub Swanson replied, props to Frankie's camp for announcing fights that aren't even real. Shady management at its finest.
Wow.
Representing Frankie. It's your champion, people's champ. All right, next one. Also, kind of a War of the Worlds. Luke Rockhold still cannot seem to get Vitor Belfort off his mind. It was announced that Vitor Belfort was going to fight for the title against Chris Weidman. What did Rockhold said somewhere along the line that
he's probably going to get injury.
Belfort's weak and
frail
old man. He's going to get hurt during training camp, and I'm paraphrasing here. I don't see frail old man, but kind of saying Belfort wouldn't make it to the fight, right?
Yeah, well, that's what what's his name is saying. Luke Rockhold.
Yeah.
I'm taking Vitor Belfort on this.
Oh, yeah?
I think he's just a sore loser after getting that spinning wheel kick to the face, knocking him out.
But I'm not trying to defend him, but I'm just saying like, well, Vitor was super Vitor. I mean, come on, like I think everyone has a bad taste in their mouth knowing that.
Okay,
when he was
But
tasting,
is it kind of like every time I open an article, it's always Luke Rockhold talking about Vitor Belfort? Is it a little too much now, or?
well, I think it's because the way he
He's
lost,
sore loser.
The way he lost.
I'm not saying that, but Guillermo said
The way he lost and the way he is like. He is a really, really good fighter.
Oh, yeah, obviously,
and I think it's hard for him to accept that he lost that way,
Yeah.
knowing that the guy was on some kind of enhancement.
Then
That's why
after the fight,
it just leaves a bad taste in his mouth, and I think he really wants to prove people that wasn't the real Luke Rockhold that lost to Vitor Belfort.
Nor was it the real Vitor Belfort who beat
I
the real
just-
Luke Rockhold?
That's the real question.
So it was the fake Vitor that beat the fake Rockhold that night,
Something like that.
and now Rockhold wants to face the real Rockhold to face a real Vitor Belfort.
Exactly.
All right,
See,
so that makes sense.
See, the thing is, real Luke Rockhold would lose to Super Vitor and Phenom Vitor. Phenom Vitor is,
All right, so how
when
many-
he was younger.
It's kind of like
2000
Superman. Like, you
So we got-
remember when Superman died?
we got three
and then,
Vitors now.
all these, like,
Yeah,
five
we do.
different
We
Supermans
have
came. So how
Phenom
many-
Vitor,
Phenom Vitor.
which is 18-year-old, coming with the full
So
season.
now we're traveling back in time.
Yeah. Okay, I guess so.
That's
Superman can do
Phenom,
it.
and then we get into Super Vitor when he's on testosterone,
Okay.
and then we have
Regular-
post Vitor.
But we haven't seen regular
real
Vitor in a long time.
Have we? We haven't, huh?
No, we
No, we
haven't.
haven't.
We've only seen Super Vitor the last 3
So
That's
we'll
why we
see
have
Phenom.
Phenom, then Super Vitor, and then
Now
now
we're
It's
seeing
almost like he's a Saiyan,
real
right?
Vitor.
So we have a regular form Vitor, we got Super Saiyan Vitor, and Super Saiyan 2 Vitor right now.
There we go.
We don't know if he has a Super Saiyan 3 though.
Maybe Chris Weidman will find out. Also, last one, kind of near to all our hearts. We actually heard from Fedor Emelianenko, former greatest heavyweight fighter of all time. Recently came out and said
Depends
that.
who you talk to.
And what you on Fedor?
He was the biggest Fedor fan.
Yeah, I know.
He said Fedor was the best man in the planet.
Yeah.
This guy?
And during Cain
Yes,
Velasquez
Albert.
fighting.
Yeah. And well, speaking of Cain Velasquez, Fedor said in his prime he would like to fight Cain Velasquez. So thoughts on a prime Cain versus a prime Fedor? Would that
Again,
honestly
we're,
been a
we're
big
time
moneymaker?
traveling again, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
might as
time
well.
traveling.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see that matchup. I
Why?
think Cain would
Why?
have killed them anyways. I could care less about that.
Is that
matchup.
kind of
It doesn't excite me at all.
is that kind of respect to Cain,
It-
right?
It excited you
I
when he
don't
was in what is this? Not Strike Force?
Yeah.
It excited
Well,
him
I
at
mean,
the
this
time.
guy he fought in Japan when all the guys were hyped up on extra stuff because they didn't.
And
drug
he
test,
wasn't?
right?
Come
Yeah,
on.
and he beat them all. So he
Wait, I'm
all
pretty sure he
equated.
was on something.
Oh yeah, I didn't say he wasn't, but I mean, like, dude, you were like,
I know.
remember when Dana White retweeted you because you talking about
No,
Fedor,
I was just-
and the
no.
Dana White, I'm trying to
No.
support Fedor here.
No.
And
I
you
did
were a
not do
Fedor
that.
fan.
No.
I will retweet that. and I will find that for you.
retweet it because Dana White tried to do the same thing to me. He tried to be like, "Oh, you Fedor fans," and I was trying to tell Dana White, "Look, I'm not a Fedor fan. I'm just."
What'd you say?
Because he was the one that was
Go,
talking
finish.
smack because he was booking the Nick Diaz fight, right? But at the same time, he was trashing Fedor. And I was like, well, technically, if you're trashing Fedor, you should trash Nick Diaz too, because they had the same record. Because he said something like, oh, let me read you all Fedor's opponents, blah, blah, and so came off a loss. And so I told Dana White, look,
Fedor's
dude,
the best.
I told him, Nick Diaz just fought some guy that was 15-15. He just fought another guy that had a losing record, and yeah, you're hyping him up like he was the best thing ever. So why do you say that Vitor isn't at that level, but Nick Diaz is, but yet they have the same type of resume? That's what I was trying to say. I wasn't trying to say that.
I'll look it
that-
up
that
and
Fedor
we'll
was-
analyze,
look it up.
analyze
Look
it
it
next
up.
week.
So what you're saying is Fedor was the greatest.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's it for today's show.
Wait,
Make sure
wait,
to follow
be-
us on Twitter.
Before you go ahead, I mean, I know it gets buried under there, but Bellator this Friday, Bobby Lashley returns in the heavyweight division.
You gonna fight?
King Mo is back in it in the light
That
heavyweight
can't
division.
not be. I just saw
King-
Bobby Lashley
King-
last week wrestle Austin Aries. He can't go from wrestling match last week to MMA. It's impossible.
It's gonna happen. Congo makes his return too. He's still making.
So you're saying a big Bellator card.
And come on, Pat Curran versus Pitbull. Come on,
Awesome.
dude.
Bellator.
That
Yeah,
was
we'll-
worth
we'll
it
be
alone.
watching,
If
don't
you
worry.
don't want to see Bobby Lashley, I'm just
Oh, I
saying.
want to see Bobby Lashley.
I'm
But I
just
don't
saying.
believe
This,
he just got done versus Austin Aries last week.
This,
Come
this
on.
card's kind of getting hidden underneath everything, and I just want people to know that's Friday, Bellator. Check it out. It should be a good card.
Bellator MMA on Spike TV. Until then, make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, and Podomatic. And always check out FiveRoundMMA.com. While you're surfing the web, please visit OvertimeNation.com to read our articles, commentaries, editorials, not only on the world of MMA, but also in other sports, especially soccer. Ollie Charlie and Guillermo are always keeping that section busy. So follow them on Twitter at overtime_nation and go to overtimenation.com. And Ollie the Trolley is back from Portlandia.
Even though I don't think he should pick the winner, I think you should tell Jonathan over there.
Oh, who is
our-
Jonathan?
Our
What did
special
you-
guest.
Our special guest?
Because I think Oliver is being biased the last time the couple picks. So I
He
think
hasn't
should
been
let
here
him
last
pick.
couple picks.
Exactly. I think he's going to be more biased.
Oh, you want to get together, Ollie and Jonathan,
Yeah, that way I know it's not there. It's not some kind of conspiracy.
to pick today's super clean rock and green star of the show?
Just pick who is the best, who had the best facts.
And Oliver
Or best points.
And Oliver filter
Best
it through, and
theories.
Oliver's less. If you agree with it, Oliver go with it.
No, who
Let's just
who
take
do you think-
Oliver. Who was the
Oliver, who was
the
it?
star? Albert Cena. Oh, this is going. Is that a little
Nope.
reverse psychology? Oh, don't let Ollie try and pick. He's unfair.
Yeah.
That's Super Green Rock and Clean Star of the show is brought to you by Rock and Green Soap. Go to rockandgreensoap.com for the full line of eco-friendly soaps and detergents, and follow them on Twitter at rockandgreensoap.com. And a big thank you to Redemption Martial Arts. The RMA Foundation is a non-profit organization committed to anti-bullying awareness. Visit their website at redemptionmartialarts.com to see how you can join the movement to stop bullying, and follow them on Twitter at redemption_MA. Rise up against bullying. Albert, take us away.
Just like to thank our executive producer Guillermo Cita, the return of Ollie the Trolley over there, or sound engineer Steven Roswell with Roswell Records.
Yep.
Hit them up for your sound needs. Brock Lesnar is returning since WrestleMania. If you don't have WWE Network, please go get it, because SummerSlam, you see the return of Brock, and hopefully he does the same thing he did to Undertaker that he does to John Cena.
Give him a concussion and
Yeah,
send him away
that's
for a
exactly
year.
what I'm hoping for. And thanks everybody for listening.
Oh yeah, the madness is running wild. The cream of the crop.